Hey, all my Bojo friends. I am here. Happy October, right? I know, I'm telling you. It's been a minute, and you're going to see that it's been a minute since I've even worked in my bullet journal because I make so many darn friggin' mistakes. Like, ugh. But we are going to start out with a super fun cover page. I have been doing all things spooky for October. If you're not, if you're into like the scrapbooking / card making world, I do have a channel that is primarily focused on that kind of stuff over at Create with K instead of Plan with K. It's Create with K. I'll link it in the description below. We've been doing all things October and spooky over there. Neglecting this channel. I'm sorry. I swear. I'm getting them up, you guys. I'm getting them up. But what we are doing here is we did take an 80-pound piece of Nina White cardstock, and we are going to do some ink blending. I know that this is not a new thing in the Bojo world, so there's lots of people that do it, but and I've done it before. If you haven't seen, I did it for Christmas, my Christmas planner before. Did I do it for October? I know I did it for Christmas. So, but this is a new blend combination that I'm loving for Halloween. I usually have been always doing like the midnight skies, especially for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. But this is my spooky Halloween green sky. And I am just using Distress Oxides with a blending brush. That one was, what is it? Something Citron, Twisted Citron. The next one that I'll be using is Rustic Wilderness. You could technically use 4 colors on this one. I could have another color in here, and I probably should have for this big. Usually for my cards, it's A2. It's much smaller than this. And once I started, I'm like, oh yeah, I probably could have used like a shabby shutters in between here, because I was like, oh, as you can see right now, it's ugly. Oh, look at that. It is ugly, right? Just keep on watching. For this large of a blend, definitely you want to go your lightest to darkest and then back from your darkest to lightest. And then that's where you're going to get your good blend. And obviously, I'm blending much quicker. It's pretty sped up here, about 2.5 times. But being the first time I've kind of showed this a ton on my channel, I wanted to show the full, getting brutal. Okay, so there was black soot. I'm sorry, black is my black soot. Could have also, done a darker gray. Excuse me. I don't have a darker gray in my oxides, and this is one thing that you do want to make sure is if you are using oxides, you don't want to go back and use your dye inks altogether. You don't want to mix your pigments and your dye inks. And honestly, oxides are the easiest things to blend. So just stick to the oxides and you'll be successful. So, all right, so here we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Here's where I'm contemplating my life, though, of like, I probably should have gotten one more. It looks like I'm also talking to somebody, maybe. I'm like, I probably should have gotten one more. But I also am then going to go around the outside with that black soot just to dirty that up. Black soot makes everything 10 times better. Oh, yeah. And you can see there that I am using those Tim Holtz masks, moon masks, to mask off the top of that for my moon. I should have left a little bit more moon, and I didn't. I don't know. Normally I leave a little bit more moon. But what I'm going to do now to soften that edge a little bit is I'm going to use my green. Do I dip it again? Oh, I must dip it again. Oh, but I take a lot off. I'm like, do I dip it again? Usually I just use what's ever left on that brush, but I was afraid that I had a lot of the dark green on there. Just to soften that edge a little bit. Then I'm going to come in with this color combination, Pumice Stone, and really just grunge up that moon. See that moon just grunge up there and start glowing like a moon. Oh, my tape. I forgot my tape. ripped my paper. I was so mad. And then just going to use that mask to get the craters of the moon. And look at there. I'm telling you guys. I love this technique. So I am going to put this off to the side. I did this first because it needs to dry and we have lots more steps. I then cleaned my desk off and all that ink. I'm going to use my splatter box here and my new delusions shimmer sprays. I'm quite obsessed with the Tim Holtz mica sprays, but unfortunately I just can't find them. I mean, they're on the websites, but I'm pretty cheap and I don't really like, I don't really like paying full price for anything, as you guys know. And I had a 40% off coupon for these. And honestly, I mean, I never had the mica sprays. So these have done a great job. I don't think I showed you quite how shimmery it was. I meant to. But we are putting a haunted house. So I just went on Google and found a PNG of a haunted house and then cut that out with my silhouette to get that black silhouette just out of regular black cardstock. Now I am ink blending a piece of paper real quick with oranges, yellows, oranges and yellows to make that house, glow pretty much. And really, I'm just throwing this down on the paper because it is, only those little tiny spots. So I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter too much. I just wanted the bottom to look, hotter than the top, all that kind of stuff. So then I make a few marks for myself to go around so that I can cut the back of this. And this will line the back. Here we go. Just a real rough cut, guys. You're about to see. And then you'll see, I kind of shape it to the house a little bit more so you can't see it. So you guys will notice as we get closer to the holidays that I tend to go a little bit more full out for the holidays. As you guys seen last year, I have a full Christmas planner. And so that I can keep everything in one spot. So we'll be switching over to that here soon. So I'm super excited, which does mean for 2024, whoa, that's so crazy to say. I won't be going into a new planner because I have plenty of space in this one since I just started this one. Don't do that, what I just did. I just totally put that whole thing into the ink. I noticed it on the top. I'm like, oh, now I have shimmery and everything because I didn't clean off my workspace. Just using baby wipes. It's as easy as that. There we go. Look at that. I'm telling you. So as you can see, as the ink sits there and settles into the paper, it blends itself out really much so. And it just, the glow of the moon is there. I'm telling you guys, I love it. I just love it. All right, we're going to add a few bats, of course. With a haunted house, you always need some bats. Here I am going to use my fake Misty. If you're not in the stamp world or in the card world, you might not know what a Misty is, but this is a fake one, and because I can't afford the real one. One day when I get consistent and you guys blow up this channel, maybe. So with that said, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button. I would much, much appreciate it. We are just doing that twice because we are stamping on ink already. So I did use a pigment ink, a versifying, and it in spots it sat on top of the other ink better than others. So but it was all okay. And then last, we just need an October. And guys, this stamp by Carrie Bradford, let me tell you, I know you guys have seen other stamps by Carrie Bradford here. Oh, I am going to heat set that just because that ink will sit on top of the other ink. And I didn't want that. And here I am about to heat emboss. So I just wanted to make sure my paper was dry. But it is called Stanley, and I have been waiting. This is why this is a little bit late, because I've been waiting for this stamp set to do this whole setup. And this was a pre-order, so I don't know if it's available anymore. I will link it if she's doing it again, but I think she's moved on to her Christmas stuff. You got to be quick with Carrie Bradford. I tell you, I was an idiot and didn't get this on the first and had to wait for the pre-order, like I said. All right, so I am lining this up. You're going to see I try and do it multiple letters at a time because, like I said, I am heat embossing on ink. So I was going to be using that pigment ink, the black pigment ink. I wanted to use that because I'm going to use black embossing powder, and I just wanted it to be super solid black. So I was like, I don't know how many letters at a time I can do without the pigment ink drying. This is what I'm using, that VersaFine. See, I'm like checking it, like, this is going to work, right? I'm like, I think it's going to work. It does. Getting all my supplies out for that embossing. And I go to town. I do about 3 letters to begin with. And I'm like, let's see how this goes. I am just cleaning my stamps off on a stamp chamois that's off to the side, as you guys can see where I go. I'm telling you guys, this is like the perfect October stamp set, alpha set. And then I just use a coffee filter to catch everything. I did find out that pigment ink doesn't stick super well, so you can't like knock it off like you can usually with an embossing ink. But there, and then I was like, oh shoot, you just took it off camera to do the heat embossing and didn't let anybody see that. But I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do it again. Then I will show you the shine and the shimmer. I am going to just go ahead and ink the rest of this. I figured I had plenty of time. It stuck pretty well. Starting to get inky because this is quite an inky process. So as you can see, as my bats are drying a little bit more, you can see that my bats are becoming a little duller. It is okay. It's not the end of the world. I would have liked them a little bit more, but okay, there we are. Heat embossing that. You just run your heat gun over that, not too long, and there we go. There's some right there. Look at that shine, guys. Finally caught that light. Put all of my supplies away. And let's put it into the Bojo. Let's put it into my notebook. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited for this cover. Still putting more supplies away. Guys, my desk this last 2 weeks, I swear I've cleaned it, just like destroyed it, cleaned it, redestroyed it, cleaned it, redestroyed 14 million times, and it is destroyed right now. And I swear I just cleaned it. I am going to round those corners because this Scrolls That Matter book is rounded. And there we go. All right, let's start on my monthly. And this is where I am telling you that I don't know if I should have been doing this. It was a little bit later at night, so I will tell you. But look, I even drug my ruler right through that ink. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am smudging things. I couldn't find my whiteout. I still haven't found my whiteout, my correction tape. I have no idea where I've put it. I'm telling you, or where I've put extra. I did leave this in here because I do want you guys to know if you're messing up in your bullet journal, things can be fixed, okay? Don't worry about it. Please just, dive right in. And I was about to fix it and then just use whiteout, and then I messed up again. And I'm like, okay, well, that piece of paper certainly didn't want me to have it in here. So I just took an X-Acto knife, and you see I'm just running it over several times very lightly so that you don't cut through the other page. And yeah, I got rid of that. That's done. That's just done. That's done. So here we are. We're going to set that back up. My boxes are 7 long by 6 wide. One side has 4, the other side has 3. All that good stuff. Nothing special here. I just keep on flipping back to September to see what I did. And here I am like, okay, we're going to do this right the first time. We can't make any more mistakes. I'm like, check again. Check again. I need to make a template. I just need to make a template. I tell you. My life would be so much easier with the template. I don't know why. I have all of the rulers for a template. You're going to see they're going to come into the screen here. All right, we're just going to finish up my monthly. By the power of video, there it is. I am setting up 2 monthly calendars, so I figured you didn't want to see all of that, and it's just lines. So skipped ahead a little bit. To carry on the October theme, we are going to get out this new stencil. This is actually a Delusion stencil also. I didn't know it. I thought it was a Tim Holtz sticker or stamp, but it is not. But it's a bunch of spider webs. It is all one stamp. So that was a little tricky because I certainly don't have a block that can fit this. So you will see there's a little bit of a double stamping, but things don't need to be perfect. So especially in my bullet journal, if you've learned anything here, things just don't need to be perfect. I also was about to use my Distress Oxide, but I'm like, yeah, that's not covering it at all. So we're going to wipe that off. We are going to prime our stamps. So if you had never used a stamp before, you do need to prime them. It's just something so that the ink sticks a little bit more, and then bam, oh my goodness. I'm like, oh yeah, wow. The Distress Oxide was not the ink for this. Of course, maybe it did work that I primed it, whatever. And there we go. Other than I don't love the fact that these books don't go to the end. So I'm always constantly getting it on other pages, but whatever. I flipped my stamp. Oh my gosh, I forgot to edit this part out. See, I told you it was just not my night, I swear to God. So I flipped the whole stamp pad, ink pad. So just inked that part and redid this again. I should have cleaned the top of my stamp and then it would have been fine. But here I am trying to line this up and I don't know why I couldn't get it to line up on the first one because then it went right down. And there we go. So cute. I am going to scruff it up again, though, because I just felt like it was just a little too starky. Like white and blackish. So I use this brush for antique yellow also. So there is, and pumice stone. So it is like a total mix of grays. And that's why it's coming out a little bit more tan than you would think it would be. Than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be more of I need to clean the brush, clearly. As you could see, there's brushes that have multiple colors on them. I need to clean them. I think it's because they sit in the container and then touch each other, probably. All right, so here we go. We are going to stamp that October out again. And guys, I'm just going to obsess over this stamp set for a little bit. I don't know what else to tell you. Carrie Bradford just knocked it out of the park once again. I'm going to obsess over it. So we are still in dailies around here. Is it working? I don't know. I don't know. Aren't we always in a planner what is it? Crisis, pretty much. I mean, I feel like every time we turn around, we're changing things and doing different things. I moved from the B5 to this because I didn't need so much room in my weeklies, but then I moved here to this one and it's just not enough room in my weeklies. So then I was like, I really want dailies. But then I get lazy and not fill out the dailies on a daily basis. Oh God, guys. I don't know, but we're going to try it for one more month, especially during the month of October where we're documenting things. Oh, made another mistake. I started on Monday. Why? Because I never start anything on Mondays. Again, can't find my correction tape. So one day I will find it and fix all these little tiny mistakes. I tell you, I haven't smudged my ink down there, right? where was I at? Oh, yeah. So we're going to continue on with the dailies. We do need to do a lot of journaling with the holidays and all that kind of stuff coming up. So, and the days are busy right now. So I do need a lot of room for to-do lists. Like today, my to-do list is like 2 huge columns long, and that's crazy. So we're going to keep it. So we're going to set up the first, I think 9 days. I know random number, but that's just where I decided to stop. We're going to set up the first 9 days here coming up. Oh, we're first going to set up meal planning also. So we are going to put a little bit of decoration on this calendar. So this is a stamp set from Elle Studio, and I'm just going to stamp Trick or Treat on Halloween. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, we need to grunge that part up, too. I could have probably done the whole calendar, too, but sometimes I don't like doing it with Oxide inks because, like I mentioned, it is pigment. There's pigment and dye traits to this ink, and I don't want my pens to not write on it. So that's why I was like, nah. Oh, we got to do the little... I forgot about these. I got to do the little fleur-de-lis. Then I just did a few everywhere just to jazz up the page a little bit. I forgot about these. These came in that stamp set also. Guys, when you're buying stamp sets, pay attention to the little ones too. Like, all the time I'm paying attention to the big ones, but honestly, the little ones are the ones that I just use the most half the time. All right, starting to put things away from that. Add a little drop shadow. With N95. That's usually what I use for my drop shadow. I could have went to my warmer one just because that ink came out a little warmer, but whatever. It is what it is. Oh, we have to add some spiders too. Gosh, there's so many things I forgot about. That was an afterthought. I was like, oh, they need some spiders. I found that stamp in a random stamp set as I was putting things away. All right, so let's move on. We are going to, right after this, see how much it pulls away from there? Like, I don't know if it's all of these books or if it's just this one for me, but like every page seems to be glued extra. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if that happens for you guys on your Scribbles That Matter. Maybe I just got a bad one. I don't know. But like every page is like glued more. I don't know. So then it pulls away more and more as you fold them over. They just don't lay straight. All right, so here I am trying to figure out a vertical calendar first for meals, my meal plan. Then I figure out like that's just 7 days is not going to fit across and you're not going to be able to write. So we're going to go horizontal. And honestly, horizontal fit perfectly. It was 35 dots. I was like, oh, look at me go. So it will be, I think like, I don't remember. It's like 5 squares. I think they're 5 by 5s. I think it's 5 by 5s. To do this meal plan, you're going to see I did an oops again right there. I keep on forgetting that the first week is a full week. See, there we go. And I'm like, oh, I just did that again. The first week is a full week, and then the last week we only have 3 days. It is what it is. Again, where is that whiteout? I'll find it. It's in a nook and cranny somewhere. I am, well, before I was using a micro .08 for my first calendar. This is actually just the Scribbles That Matter pen. I don't know why I switched it up, to tell you the honest truth. I think these are .05. I don't know exactly what the Scribbles That Matter pens are. Oh, it's right here. Oh, they're an 04. Again, I don't know, probably because it's a smaller one. I don't know, but All right, we're going to date that. We are going to put a meal plan down because I need to get my life under control. I feel like I'm going to the grocery store like 4 times a week right now, and that is just not me. I go to the grocery store like twice a month, and I'm like, this is nuts because I'm not prepared for anything. So that amazing stamp makes its appearance again. So the stamp set also has like letters that are like together, that fit together. And here's one of them, the L and the A. That's just genius, right? They have like doubles of letters that come together and things like that. So, all right, there's my meal plan. Let's start on our dailies. So yes, this was the third, I think, when I was doing this, but I am going to go back and backdate my planner, because I need to journal and I need to do it. So I did just put the OCT on here, and so I can stamp that all at one time. And I actually end up, at first I was like, oh, did I leave enough room sometimes? And I forgot. See, there's another one of those pages that don't go completely to the edge. Oh, it bugs me so bad. And I just got to stamping. I'm like, oh, wait, do I want the whole month like this? Yeah. So I stopped at, like, I was like, oh, I stopped at 9, whatever. Same thing. I could have just stopped at 7, but I didn't really think about it. I just set up one week and changed it the next week. But this will at least get me to the Monday. So sometimes I'll get to the end or the beginning of the week and not find time on Monday to set it up. And then I won't set it up for like 2 days or something like that. So at least the Monday is set up. And then if I have time through the weekend, I will get the next week set up and get that filmed for you guys. So I'll probably change it up a little bit. So just going through and stamping the numbers, easy peasy. And then I'm going to use a stamp set by Tim Holtz. This one is by Tim Holtz. It's a Halloween stamp set. It's probably not available anymore. Well, I mean, it might be on the Ranger website. So if I can find the link, I will link it for you. But it ended up being real fun. I ended up having fun with this stamp set. Happy that those pages kind of stuck up a little bit like that. Let that ink dry. Because as I can see now, some of the ink did not dry before I was changing papers. So, whatever. Again, not perfect. And October's grudgy anyways. So, all right, here I am pulling out that stamp set. I should have showed it to you guys. That's so silly of me not to show it to you. Sorry. I'm just going to smack some bats down, and I kind of just go through and do a few pages of each stamp so that, each day is a little bit different. Look at that little scaredy cat. And then I believe, this guy is the cutest, this little mummy guy. I love him. That's what it's on today, the 4th right there. I'm loving today. Then I pretty much just use my dot, what are these called? Dot markers, to do checklist. And then I journal on the bottom of these. So next week I will show you a flip through I have a little bit of September done. I did get behind and I didn't get the stamping done for a lot of September. I did a little bit of the journaling, but never got to the stamping part of it. That's probably the hardest part, is to do it when I'm down here. When I'm in my office, I'm working, and when I'm kind of doing my journaling, I'm upstairs in my room. So I got to kind of figure that part out. But anyways, I think, what else am I going to do here? I can't remember what else. Oh, I go through and put I did the little spider. Oh, I go through and do the dots. There you go. So now you can see how that yellow kind of pops off. And there we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I am so excited for October. It's the favorite time of year, right? Definitely leave a little pumpkin in the comments below if you got this far to let me know. I will talk to you later. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.